Hey, Robbie. Do you mind picking up diapers for me from the pharmacy on your way home? The one in front of the train station? You know the one. They're selling these large diaper packs at a heavy discount, but you can only get 2 per person.
What? Why do I have to do it? You go instead. You're in the house anyway, right? You have the time.
I'm asking you because I can't go. I would do it myself if I could.
And? What excuse do you have?
Are you serious? You should understand my situation better than anyone. I just gave birth to twins. It's not that easy to just go out to the store and buy things on a whim anymore.
Then how about you buy them on Amazon and get them delivered?
I mean, we need twice as many diapers than most people usually need. I wanted to get them as cheaply as possible, even by just a little bit. They can get pricey after a while.
Are you kidding me? You're saving maybe like a couple of dollars at most. It's not worth pinching pennies over.
No, you're wrong. If I get them online, I could wind up spending $10 or $20 extra than I would have spent. And that's not to mention the price of shipping.
If it's just like $10 more, then what's the big deal? Why are you even worrying about how much it'll cost anyway? You'll be using my money.
That's true, but think about it. From here on out, we're gonna have to shell out a lot of money to take care of these 2 while supporting ourselves. Wouldn't you think it's better to save where we can? Besides, the pharmacy is on the way home for you, and you're already outside. It shouldn't be that hard, right?
You can save money on your own if that's what you want, but don't involve me in your saving schemes. It shouldn't be my problem. I'm already busy enough with work as it is. I'm working my butt off every single day. And by the time I'm about to go home, I'm tired as hell. Having to run errands when I'm dead tired is just way too much for me.
But it's just to buy diapers. You only might need to talk to the cashier, but otherwise it shouldn't be a big deal.
So you think it's easy? Then how about you go and do it? Oh yeah, how about you finally get off your butt and clean the house already too? I can't keep living in such a dirty place. I'm at my limit.
Of course, I'd love the house to be clean too. No one likes living in a mess, but I'm so busy taking care of these 2 that I just can't get around to everything. Some things have to fall by the wayside.
What are you talking about? They're just a couple of newborns. They shouldn't be that much of a handful already. They're not running around dirtying up the whole place. You're the only one making it dirty, so it makes sense that you should clean up after yourself.
I promise you that I'm extremely busy. It's been hectic. Just having 1 kid is bad enough. But think about it. We have 2 newborns to take care of right now. I just want you to understand that there are some things I really can't do right now. That I truly am as busy as I say. This isn't easy.
So you really have 0 downtime? Really? How about after you're done breastfeeding or changing their diapers? You should have time to tidy up the house at least a little. I wonder why you just don't seem to care about doing that.
There's just a lot of uncertainties and irregularities to deal with. Like after I feed them and change their diapers, it's not guaranteed they'll go quietly to sleep. If you have a problem with how I've been running this house, then I'd like you to help me out a little more. I can't do all this on my own.
What are you talking about? I change their diapers. It's not like I'm not doing anything.
Yeah, and that's it. Changing their diapers is all you do around here. And it's not even like you do it that consistently. Most of the time, I'm the one having to do it. The moment they start crying, you shove them onto me.
What? It's a mother's duty to get her children to stop crying.
That's the first I'm hearing that.
Listen, I'm working every single day. When I get home, I want to kick back and relax, but I can't even get a good night's sleep thanks to those 2 screaming their heads off every night. What more do you want from me? All you do is laze around the house every day taking care of the kids. You have it easy compared to me.
Excuse me? Taking care of those kids is what's eating up all of my free time and energy. It's not like looking after a puppy. It's much more involved than that. I have no time to just be lazing around.
Nah, I know you want to defend yourself, but the one with the real job's the guy who's actually busy here. Besides, you're in the house every day. The bed and the couch are right there. You can lay down whenever you want, put on some tunes, all the stuff I don't have the luxury of doing at work. Man, you're such a drama queen. You're making a mountain out of a molehill.
I'm not. Besides, who's the one who's just given birth here? It's me. I'm still recovering. I'm not at 100% yet, and it's tough for me to even go about my daily life. That's why I've been hoping you could make dinner every day instead of me. Is that too much to ask? It'll only be for a little bit.
God, look at all the mothers out there in the world. I think you could stand to learn a thing or two from them. Don't you understand how lucky you are? There are single mothers out there who have to work and clean and take care of the kids all on their own. But guess what? They're still doing it anyway. And then there's you. You're not even doing half the things they're doing, yet you want to shove the housework onto me? No thanks. You're a housewife. That's your job.
Don't get me wrong. I think single mothers are amazing. But I have you, don't I? I'm not a single mother. So I don't think you should be comparing us.
Don't be such a spoiled baby. I do think it's incredible how you gave birth to 2 kids. That's not an easy feat. But just because you gave birth doesn't mean that your job is done. It just means that things are getting started.
Of course I know that.
Really now? Then do the chores and raise the kids like you're supposed to. If the house isn't clean by the time I get home, you can forget about me ever helping you with the kids. Hey, you better clean up the living room before I get home from work tonight. Oh, and do the laundry too. Seriously, what's up with that mountain of dirty clothes we got back home? That's embarrassing. What are you even doing every day?
I'm sorry. I'm just so exhausted.
Man, whatever. I don't care. Because of you, I can't even relax at home on my time off. It's a stressful environment for me to come back to.
Listen, I really haven't been feeling good lately. I've barely been able to sleep a wink the past couple of weeks. Please, couldn't you help me out around the house or with the kids even a little? I'm not asking for much. I just need a breather.
Are you being for real right now?
I am. Why wouldn't I be? Why wouldn't you understand where I'm coming from? I've really been putting my all into taking care of these kids, and I'm at my limit. I need help.
But everyone else can do it. So why can't you? Why are you the only one in the entire world who can't do what a stay-at-home mom is supposed to do?
I am doing what I can in regards to cleaning up and doing the chores around the house. But when you have 2 little babies to take care of, you seriously can't find the time for a lot of things.
I think you're just not using your time wisely. Everyone has the same 24 hours. With all that time, I think you could at least get the chores done. Well, what other lame excuse are you going to try to pull out now? How bad is your time management?
God, time management isn't the problem. I'm being serious here. Look, you know these 2 are your kids too, don't you? Couldn't you act more like a father for them?
Who do you think's putting food on your table? It's thanks to the fact I'm working that you can even afford to take care of those kids.
That's true, but what does this have to do with taking care of the kids?
I'm doing what I'm supposed to do. Yet you have a problem with me? What gives you the right to complain? As a housewife, you're supposed to take care of the house and the kids. That's your job. Put your back into it already, will you? It's your job to support the man of the house. That's your duty as my wife.
But I am already giving it all I got.
Then that just means it isn't good enough. Oh yeah, take my suit to the cleaners for me.
What? If you wanted your suit to be cleaned, you should have brought it with you on your way out.
Excuse me? Why? This is your job. Why do I have to be the one to do it?
Come on. You can at least do that by yourself, can't you?
Like I said, I work my butt off to make a living to support the four of us. So how about you? Have you ever earned even a scrap of cash before?
All the work I put into child rearing and the household chores is like having a job. Except I'm not being paid for it. But just because I don't get money from it doesn't mean it's worthless. I think the work I do is equally important to what you do at your job.
Wow. Are you being serious right now? Just so you know, the work you do isn't worth a damn penny. All you make for dinner are half-baked meals. And when it comes to child rearing, you let those kids cry their heads off like no tomorrow. If this was an actual job, you would have been fired already in a heartbeat. In order to make a living, you need to be a pro at what you're doing.
No one can be perfect at child rearing on their first try. And most people only have one kid to deal with. Sometimes the other one starts crying just as I manage to quiet one of them down. And you won't lift a finger around the house, so everything becomes a mess in the meanwhile.
Oh, okay. So you're making that out to be my fault now? You're a hopeless woman. Unbelievable. Oh, that reminds me. My mom will be coming over the day after tomorrow, so you better put your back into taking care of the household chores and those kids. Learn a thing or two from her, would you? To avoid being a disappointment. Hey, Rose. The house is a mess. Where did you run off to? You didn't even bother cleaning up before you left?
If you think it's dirty, then how about you clean it up yourself?
Excuse me? What's with that attitude? It's your job to do the household chores, not mine. Don't skip out on your wifely duties just because you popped out a couple of kids. That's no excuse. You're a housewife. What are you even doing? My mom was here today, wasn't she? Didn't you learn anything from her? Because from what I'm seeing here, clearly you didn't.
Get a hold of yourself right now, young man. This is your mother speaking. You better come over here to bow your head and apologize to Rose at once.
What? Mom? You have to be joking. What are you doing talking on Rose's phone? Is it really you? What happened to Rose then?
She's sleeping at my house right now.
What? What the hell is she doing? And what do you mean apologize? I haven't done squat.
Oh, you've done plenty. You worked poor old Rose to the bone until she collapsed from exhaustion. My heart aches for her. I feel so sorry to her parents that my son would treat their daughter like this. I thought I taught you to know better. She gave birth to your kids. Why won't you do anything for them? Why did you drive Rose into a corner like this?
That's a strong way of phrasing it. All I wanted was for her to do the household chores and child rearing like she's supposed to. Is that so wrong? I don't think I was being unreasonable.
Okay, but you can do it too, can't you? So why don't you?
What? But I work.
You think that's an excuse? After I gave birth to you, your father would help me out with anything I asked, whether it was with the household chores or taking care of you. You have to understand that it's not like a woman can give birth and be good as new afterwards. It's truly very hard on her body and takes time to recover. If you push yourself even just a bit too far, it can harm your health. Rose did her best to birth your children, so why won't you show her even an ounce of kindness? Why won't you treat her nicely when she's recovering?
What are you talking about? I totally was being nice to her. I sucked it up and ate her half-baked meals. And I didn't say anything as the dirty clothes kept piling up unwashed.
You should at least do the laundry and cooking by yourself. You mean to tell me you don't feel bad for Rose at all? Up until now, she's been sleeping only 1 hour a night. When I went over there today,
she suddenly lost consciousness and collapsed. What? I'm sure the poor girl was at her limit. She was out like a light for several hours, and when she finally came to, she apologized to me while bawling her eyes out. And once I heard what's been going on recently, I found out you haven't been doing a single thing for her. She's hit her limit. Realizing that, I took her home with me. So, does that mean she's fine now? Of course not! Are you crazy? She needs plenty of rest to recover from all that. As such, your father and I plan to support her for as long as she needs. Having 2 babies to take care of is truly a handful. I suppose you wouldn't know since you hardly ever helped her. It's baffling. Why didn't you ever offer to lend her a hand? I heard a lot of fathers these days are taking a more active role in helping their wives with childcare, but I suppose that must have been misinformation. I mean, I have my deadbeat son right here who hardly lifts a finger for his children. Why are you acting like I didn't do anything? I changed their diapers. Oh my god, did I raise an idiot? You just changed a few diapers. That's hardly anything. In fact, it's the absolute bare minimum. Now quit making excuses and come here and apologize. After all, you completely backed her into a corner. She felt trapped and alone. She might not forgive you for doing that to her. Rose, I'll go visit you at my parents' house this weekend. I want to talk, okay? I mean, I visit you every week, but it's weird that we haven't had a proper conversation, right? Let's have a nice long chat. I can take care of the kids now. So I was thinking about how I wanted to make it up with you.
Right. I think I finally cooled my head too. I've made up my mind. So if you want to talk, then by all means, let's.
Thanks. When I visit you this weekend, I'll make you a nice homemade meal. You'd like that, wouldn't you? To be honest, I've been really doing my research and looking up all these recipes. I'll make you things that have plenty of nutrition for you.
Oh, you don't have to trouble yourself with that. When you come over here this weekend, be sure you've got a pen with you.
Huh? Why? You ran out of pens at my parents' house or something? Well, the ink runs out of those things all the time, so I guess that makes sense.
In case you didn't get the hint, I'm planning on getting a divorce.
What? Did I read that right? A divorce? For real?
Yep.
No, wait, hold on a second. But I reflected on my actions and regretted them with all my heart. I've changed, Rose. I even apologized, didn't I? So shouldn't you forgive me?
An apology doesn't guarantee forgiveness. And after you apologized, I realized that I couldn't forgive you. That's why I decided I wanted a divorce.
Rose, I'm sorry. I was in the wrong. I should never have treated you the way I did. It's all my fault.
Stop. I don't really care to hear it anymore. I've made up my mind. So no matter what you say, it won't change a thing. It all rings hollow for me.
But I can't do anything else but apologize.
Right. That's why I want a divorce. I realized that I could breathe so much easier when I didn't have to live under the same roof as you. I was much happier living away from you. I don't get to hear any complaints about how I'm doing the household chores or raising my kids. I'd almost forgotten that there's plenty of people willing to help my children and me. That I'm not alone. So it's fine.
But I don't think it's fine. I'm not okay with this. It's because I have you and the kids that I can work hard at my job.
Who do you think's putting food on your table? Remember that? Do those words haunt you now? How you told me something like that when I was doing my damnedest to be a good mother.
But I've realized that I was in the wrong for talking to you like that.
The victim doesn't forget as easily as the perpetrator. I can't just forgive and forget. I was postpartum, but you worked me like a slave. And when I stopped being able to keep on top of the household chores along with childcare, you barked at me to pick up the slack and quit cutting corners. I don't want to keep living with someone who'd treat me like that.
I'm sorry. Trust me, I've realized good and well that I was in the wrong. But I really don't want a divorce. Please reconsider it. I know why you might think that's your only option, and that it's all my fault. But please, give me another chance. I can change. In fact, I already have. I just didn't understand how difficult raising children could be.
As if I can believe you. You keep going on about how you can help take care of the kids now, but you only do it when you visit for the weekends.
I'll work hard to regain your trust, I promise. And when you come back home, I'll do all of it for you. You'll see. And I'll even do the household chores. I won't dump it all on you.
You never took me seriously in the first place. You called me a drama queen when I tried to explain myself. But you had to have your mom tell you off to finally change your ways. You didn't care about what your own wife had to say. That upset me more than anything. Of course, your mother is way better at handling the household chores and taking care of the kids, and she has plenty of real-world experience compared to me. But still, why would you make light of what I had to say? I asked for your help again and again, but you just wouldn't listen. You didn't care.
I just thought you wanted me to spoil you.
What's wrong even if I had wanted you to spoil me a little? You married me because you supposedly loved me, right? And those kids belong to you too. Besides, I think most normal people would notice if their wife was only sleeping an hour a night. We lived together after all. It's hard not to notice unless you really don't care. If you couldn't even notice something like that, I realized that I don't need you as a husband nor as a father.
No way. Rose, I'm really sorry. I swear, from now on, I'm going to do my darndest to be both a good father and a good husband to you. I'll make it up to you.
What? But you wanted me to be a pro at child rearing from the get-go. You're so easy on yourself, huh? How convenient.
But I finally understand how tough raising a pair of twins were for you now. Honest. I just didn't get it at the time. I was the one who was spoiled by shoving all the work onto you. I understand good and well just how hard it was for you to take that all on yourself. I'll do anything you want as long as you forgive me first. I love our kids. I think they're adorable and they're precious to me. And of course, I hold you dear to me as well.
If you really felt that way, we wouldn't be in this situation right now. None of this would have happened.
Well, I'm sorry. I was such an idiot.
Hey, you said that as long as I forgive you, you'll do anything for me, right?
That's right, I promise. And a real man would never go back on his promises. And if I ever do treat you horribly ever again, I won't complain if you decide to divorce me. I'll sign the papers and turn them in. So please, just give me one last chance. I'll change.
Got it. Sure, I'll forgive you.
Really? You mean it? Rose, thank you so much. I won't ever hurt you like that ever again, I swear. I'll treat you right from here on out.
Why are you assuming like we're not going to divorce? I never said we wouldn't. I'll forgive you for what you've done to me. So divorce me. You said you'll do anything. This is my last request of you as both my husband and the father of my children. Don't tell me you plan to go back on your word. Our discussions regarding divorce didn't proceed smoothly, although I had expected that. But his parents were completely on my side, so they stepped in. Thanks to them, we managed to successfully get a divorce. On the weekends, my former husband would come over to his parents' house where I've been staying. And basically, he became somewhat of a nanny. He did all the household chores and childcare. He was doing so well that even his mom was taken aback, and she stopped scolding him. I wasn't really moved, though. He loves to sing his own praises and pat himself on the back. If I got back together with him, it would have gone to his head, and I'm sure things would wind up the same as before. In my opinion, I did give him plenty of chances to redeem himself, but he never took them. I have absolutely no regrets about our divorce. I can't change the fact that he's still the father of my children, so I'm still in contact with him, albeit at the bare minimum. But I plan to make good use of him as a father. and have him pay child support up until my 2 children grow into fine adults. Eventually, I left his parents' house and moved back in with my own parents. To be honest, divorcing my husband was no big deal, but saying goodbye to his parents was way harder. I plan to keep my interactions with my former husband to a minimum, but I'll definitely be keeping in touch with his parents. And I'd love if they could watch over my children and see them grow with me. I won't ever forget to be grateful to the people who have supported me. From here on out, I plan to take it easy to make sure I'm in good health and continue to raise my children as best as I can. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, be sure to hit like and subscribe to see more content just like this. Also, be sure to leave us your thoughts in the comment section below. We're looking forward to your responses. See you next time.